What's going on, guys? Today I have a quick and dirty video of how to remove the fuel tank on your MV Agusta F3. This is my 2015 MV Agusta F3 800. This process should be the same for all F3 800s and 675s from 2013 to 2020. As you can see, we're starting with my fairings off. If you have a street bike, you'll need to get to this point. As you can see, the tank extends under the seat, so you'll need to remove the fairings on the tail section so you can get to this point so we can get the tank off. You cannot just remove the side fairings and the upper fairings and expect to have the tank off. Also, I have a steering damper. There is a few more steps if you have a steering damper in order to get the tank off. If you do not, you can skip that process as I'm going through the instructions, but everything else should be the same. Now, having said that, let's head on over to my desk to talk about the tools you need to remove the tank from this. So to remove the tank, you're just going to need a few things. A 4mm Allen wrench or socket. If you're going to use a socket, obviously you're going to need a ratchet. And then a pair of specialty pliers really comes in handy. You'll notice that these are bent at the tips. You don't necessarily need these, but these will make your life a whole lot easier when moving the fuel line. Okay, so if you've got your bike stripped down to this point, you'll notice that there are 3 4mm screws on either side of the tank. We need to remove the bottom 2. We don't need to remove the top one. Do that on both sides. Also, if you have a steering damper like I do, we need to remove the steering damper. Why? Because there are bolts, front tank bolts down under here under the bracket. So what we need to do is we need to get a 5mm Allen wrench or socket. We need to move this bolt here, and then we have to remove the top triple clamp. So there's a 6mm Allen bolt we have to loosen up. One here, and then one here. In order to get to this one, we need to get the brake fluid reservoir out of the way. So it's a little bit more involved, but it's not terrible. If you don't have a steering damper, then I'll show you at that point, but these bolts are exposed. Anyway, let's get going with removing these bolts here. Like I said, the bottom 2 on either side, and then we'll get the steering damper removed as well. Okay, so now that the top triple clamp is loosened up, I like to put the front end on a triple tree head pin stand, like this one here. The reason I like to do that is it takes pressure off of the forks, which helps remove pressure off the top of the triple clamp, helps us to be able to get this off. So we should be in a good position now. Having said that, I'm still going to get a long flathead screwdriver to help pry up on this if I can't just remove it by hand. And I'm just going to pry up on the triple clamp in the corners here, just a little bit at a time, so I don't damage anything. Okay, we're just about off, and there we go. Okay, so now that our top triple clamp is removed, you can see that we now have access to the front tank bolts. What we want to do is we want to grab our 5mm Allen and get those removed. So this is where our specialty pliers come into place. The fuel line disconnect for the tank is on the left side of the bike. So we're on the throttle, excuse me, the clutch side of the bike. And right in between the frame, it's right here. And if you have big, giant sausage fat fingers, it may be difficult to get in here to pinch these two release buttons to remove the tank. So therefore, you can get a pair of pliers like this to help do that. So we're gonna disconnect that right now. Have a paper towel or rag handy because we're going to lose a little bit of fuel. So FYI. So now we can start to lift the tank, and like I said, there's an electrical connection about mid-tank. Not sure I'll be able to show you on video until after I get the tank off, but we'll give it a shot. So I'm going to lift from the back and sort of cantilever it out like this, and then be able to lift it up. Like so. Remember, your fuel line is connected over or disconnected over here, but it still may be wrapped around things, so don't just go yanking it up. Okay, so I can reach in to grab the electrical connector, and you can see, hopefully you can see the electrical connector right there that we need to remove. All right, the electrical connector is off. Now the tank should just lift up and off the bike. There we go, F3 800 fuel tank removed. You can see the location of the battery, so now is a great time to check the battery, replace the battery if you're going to do that. Do any work you need to do on the airbox, to do anything that you need to do now that the tank is removed. All right, guys, well, that's really it. Like I said, quick and dirty video, not too difficult. I'd say a 4, good 4. To remove the tank on your F3 800. Anyway, I'm Derek. You guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, or smash it if you didn't. Until next time, guys.